Hi everyone, today we are going to be ranking every single foundation from Estee Lauder. I'm going to be telling you my preferences and who I think these foundations are most suited for. Who are they targeted at? Because some of them really aren't for me. So we're going to be going through every single one. There is one that I've missed off for a reason, and I'm hoping that that is not the biggest mistake in history. So the Aqua Brilliance will not be featuring in this video. Every place I've gone to buy the Aqua Brilliance, they are so low down on stock shades. It says to me that this is either going to have a reformulation or be discontinued. I have approached Estee Lauder about this. They have been very cagey on the information that they've shared, so I'm not quite sure what's happening. The only place to have every shade in stock, or more shades in stock, is Estee Lauder. So not sure what's happening, but that one will not be featuring. However, we have Double Wear Sheer, Double Wear Maximum Cover, Double Wear Powder Foundation, Futurist Hydra Rescue, Futurist Skin Tint Serum, and re-nutriv, which is their higher end foundation that is super expensive. So let's get straight on with it. If you are new here and you have never watched this channel before, welcome. My name's Gemma. I create a lot of beauty content on this channel, a lot of skincare, a lot of makeup, hair care, all of that. If you like the sound of that, please come and join the family by clicking the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. So for each foundation, I'm going to be going through coverage, ingredients, including whether it's got a sunscreen, those sunscreen ingredients, and whether it's got fragrance or essential oils or alcohol within the formula. I know that's important to many of my subscribers. What the foundation is good at, what it's bad at, and who it's suitable for, whether that be dry skin, oily skin, sensitive skin. So let's get on with it. Please bear in mind that these rankings are only personal opinion. It's how these foundations sit on my skin, look on my skin, feel on my skin, wear on my skin. So it's very personal to me, and you may have a completely different experience. What I would definitely recommend, and this is what Estee Lauder is very good at, if you have an Estee Lauder counter near you, they are very good at handing out samples, and they are good size samples as well, with a few days wear. In fact, a couple of these foundations I don't have the full size version for. I've been using the sample for a good few days before I made my opinion, and I still have some product left. Whether I'll be using that product up remains to be seen, but here goes. Let's kick it off with position number 7, which is obviously my least favourite one and is actually the newest release from Estee Lauder. I was so disappointed with this. There was definitely an opening within the Estee Lauder range for a product with less coverage, but I just don't see the point in this. I think they've tried to be clever and it definitely fell on its face. For me personally, this is the Futurist Skin Tint Serum. I've gone for the shade 1N2 in Ecru, as I have for the majority of these foundations. So this comes in 29 shades, gives light coverage with an ultra natural radiant finish. At some point this can look incredibly oily on my skin, and I have quite a lot of dry patches on my skin, so I just wasn't overly impressed with this. It does have a silky serum-like consistency with a very comfortable feel on the skin, so that's definitely what it does well. But it says it's all day wear, then it says 8 hours. Well, 8 hours for me isn't all day wear. It also says it's sweat and humidity resistant. I did not find that at all. And it also clung to any dry patches that I had on my skin that I didn't even know were there. So it is alcohol free, it's fragrance and essential oil free. It has an SPF of 20, which is, you know, worthless. So I don't know why it's in there. The filters are octinoxate, octosalate, and zinc oxide. All in all, I wasn't that impressed by this skin tint. It looks quite nice when it first goes on. It lasts a very little amount of time. As you can see, by the end of the day, there was a lot of the foundation that was missing from my skin, and I'm not quite sure what skin type this would suit the most. So if you're wanting very little coverage, if you're just wanting to even out the skin tone a little bit, and you're not wanting this to have great longevity, if you're just running a few errands, if you're wanting something that's incredibly lightweight and feels very comfortable on the skin, this may be great for you, but for the price, I think there are better skin tints out there. Moving up to position 6, we have Double Wear Maximum Cover. When I went to buy this foundation, the sales lady looked shocked. They don't do samples of Double Wear Maximum Cover, so you either need to buy it outright or not try it at all, which I thought was a shame because now I've tried it and it's in position 6, I probably won't use it again. That being said, it's great for anybody that has hyperpigmentation that wants to cover over that area of their skin. You can cover over tattoos with this, you can cover over birthmarks with this if you're really self-conscious about any birthmarks that you have. It's maximum cover. This is also great stage makeup as well. If you're on a shoot where you want to look absolutely superb and flawless, this could be good, but not for masses of time. So it comes in 15 shades. They don't do my normal shade 1N2, so I had to go for 1N1, which is Ivory Nude. It has a very thick consistency. You have to be so careful how much of this you apply because it can look very, very heavy very, very quickly. Again, you can use this as concealer. I wouldn't recommend using this underneath the eye though. I used it underneath my eyes on one occasion and it looked horrendous. It dries down incredibly fast. I wish it had a little bit more workability in there because I think I could have got this looking way nicer if I could have just worked at it for a little bit longer, but because it dried down so quickly, that was quite difficult. This is definitely not for dry skin, even though it's alcohol-free. This sat in every little bit of dryness that I had, and by the end of the day, even though this is a double wear product and should be quite long-lasting, because it's a double wear product, there was a lot missing from my skin, and because of the thickness of the product, it was very cakey in areas, and yeah, it didn't stay matte for very long. This went super, super shiny. This does have an SPF of 15, which again is neither here nor there. The filter is titanium dioxide, so it is a very simple filter, but it does have it in, and it can create a white cast. At position 5, I'm probably going to get lynched for this, but again, it is my own personal opinion. We have the Futurist Hydra Rescue. This is so many people's favourite, and I just do not know why. This doesn't look nice on my skin. It looks super, super oily. This comes in 28 shades and gives medium to full coverage. It's got a radiant finish. I find this overly shiny on my skin, but I know I'm in the minority here, although my mum would agree with me. She really doesn't like this foundation at all. It's got an SPF of 45, which although is high protection, I definitely wouldn't use this as your standalone SPF because you need way more product than you think you need to get that level of protection, and you really don't want to put that much product on your skin with this foundation. The filters in here are octinoxate, ethyl hexyl salicylate, zinc oxide, and phenylbenzimidazole sulfonic acid. It's very, very hydrating and nourishing and soothing formula. It's also alcohol-free, which is why it looks super, super shiny because it's very nourishing on my skin, a little bit too nourishing on my skin perhaps, and because it's got caffeine within the formula and my skin does not like caffeine at all, this clings to my dryness, and even though it's shiny, you can still see the dryness on my skin, which is very bizarre. Anyway, it's not my favourite, as you can probably gather. This did wear well on my skin though, even though the shininess of this foundation showed every single bit of texture and every single pore that I have on my skin, it was still all intact after a very long time and after a very busy day. So I was impressed with the longevity of this foundation. If you're after something really long wearing and you do like that sort of radiance within a foundation, then this one may be for you. Moving up to number 4, which is the Double Wear Stay in Place Matte Powder Foundation. I actually really like this foundation and it definitely suits a purpose. If you are one of those people that does not have a lot of time in a morning and you want something very quick to apply, this may be for you. Also, if you know that you're going out in a foundation that you think looks really flattering but you know doesn't have great longevity and you want something in your handbag to touch up that foundation throughout the day and make it look seamless, this also may be for you. Do I think it's going to be my go-to foundation every single day of the week? No. Do I think there are better powder foundations out there? Yes. However, this is a really long-lasting powder foundation that looks very flattering on my skin for a while. So this comes in 43 shades, which I think is excellent. It gives medium to full coverage. It's very buildable, very wearable, very lightweight, doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and gives a matte coverage for a while, I would say. I don't think this is matte like Double Wear is matte. However, it does give it a good go for an hour or two and then it goes a little shiny on my skin. This is alcohol, fragrance and essential oil free. It's a very simple formula. It applies beautifully. It's long lasting, but again, it can go very shiny on me. I don't think this looks powdery on my skin. It definitely doesn't look like a powder foundation to me. I also don't think it looks heavy on my skin either, but this can go cakey, especially around my nose area throughout the day. And although it wore well, it's not the most flattering powder foundation that I've ever had on my skin come hour 10. This does have an SPF of 10 in there. Again, why even bother? But the filter in here is titanium dioxide, which the majority of people can tolerate. Now we're getting to the really good foundations. In position 3, we've got the re-nutriv. Now this is a really expensive foundation. I only have the sample of this. I don't think this is going to be a foundation that I'll reach for every single day, so I won't be buying the full version. I think that should say it all for you, but I do think it's incredibly pretty on first application. So this comes in 17 shades, which it needs work. It gives medium to full coverage with a radiant finish. This is full of skincare product, so it's got antioxidants in there, it's got peptides in there, skin brightening ingredients in there as well. This is also an alcohol-free formula, which is great for those of you who are really sensitive to drying alcohols, and it's got an SPF of 20 in there. You all know how I feel about SPF in foundation by now, so the filters in here are octinoxate and titanium dioxide. So although this looked absolutely delightful on first application, it was stunning. I was not disappointed, and I was a little bit worried that I was going to love it that much. I was going to have to go out and buy the full version, which was going to cost me an arm and a leg. It didn't wear very well, and it was a little bit of a disappointment. For around about 5 hours, it looked gorgeous, and then after that, it was a little bit of a downhill slope. Now, I did have a very busy day on the day that I did the 10-hour wear test. However, at the end of that day, I had none left on the end of my chin, I had none left on the end of my nose, around the corners of my nose had gone a little bit cakey, but none of my dry skin showed at all, and I had really dry skin on this day. So if you have dry skin, this may be a really good foundation for you. If you're wanting a medium to full coverage foundation, this has got great coverage, by the way, and you're not wanting it to last for 12 hours, this may be one to give a go. We are getting so close to the top spot now, and I had a battle with myself on which of these foundations was going to be in the #1 spot, because both of these next foundations look stunning on my skin and have great longevity all the way through the day. One of these wear tests was at 13 hours and it still looked beautiful. So in position #2, we have Double Wear Sheer. This comes in 27 shades, gives light to medium coverage with a radiant finish. It's alcohol-free and fragrance and essential oil-free. It's full of lovely antioxidants. It's got glycerin in there, sodium PCA and sodium hyaluronate to hydrate and nourish. It's also got some really nice soothing ingredients in there as well, and an SPF of 20 with the filters titanium dioxide and octinoxate. This looked beautiful on my skin on first application and remained that way throughout a very long day. This was all intact. It just looked stunning. If you are after a lightweight, light to medium coverage foundation that is incredibly long lasting and you have a dry skin, because this is really nourishing and hydrating formula without it looking overly shiny, I would definitely recommend you go and get a sample of this. They do give samples away of this particular formula, so it's definitely worthwhile checking that out before you decide on whether to purchase the full version. And finally, we've got to my #1 foundation pick from the entire Estee Lauder Foundations. This actually shocked me. I was expecting it to be Double Wear Sheer, and actually this one just pipped it at the post because it is so versatile. It just is an amazing foundation, and it's the original G. It is Double Wear Foundation. I love this. Any opportunity that I can have this on my skin, I have been taking it recently. It's just such a great foundation. It's great coverage. Again, versatile. If you want to sheer this out, you can mix a little bit of your moisturizer in with it and create more of a tinted moisturizer look, or you can build this up to full coverage if that is what you require. Such great longevity, looks great at the end of the day, looks fantastic at the beginning of the day, a little bit shinier as the day goes on, obviously, but it wears so well. So this comes in 60 different shades, which is phenomenal. It gives light, medium to full coverage and has a skin-like matte finish. This can look a little bit dry and a little bit too matte if you over apply, so be very careful how much of this you apply. I always recommend with Double Wear that you apply it with a very small brush. The bigger the brush, the more likely you are to over apply this, so just apply it with a small brush and it's so much easier. Very small amounts on the skin at one time and it should look seamless all day. This is alcohol-free and fragrance and essential oil-free. It doesn't have any skincare ingredients within this formula, which I actually like because I always apply my skincare before, and sometimes an overly skin-cared foundation can make my face look super shiny throughout the day. So the more skincare ingredients a foundation has, the less I want to actually apply to my skin before I apply a foundation, and that just defeats the purpose for me. So this one is a very simple formula and it works. It's got SPF 10 in there, which is titanium dioxide, and it just looks stunning on my skin. I actually wore this and went out with my mum shopping one day, and she actually asked what the foundation was on my skin because my skin looked flawless and it looked like skin, which is great. Obviously, you have to apply this correctly for that to happen because I've seen this foundation done so badly lots of times. There is a little bit of a knack to it, and if you want me to create a video on how to apply this foundation to get the best out of it and to make it look like skin, then I'm more than happy to do that. But I love this stuff. If you have seriously dry skin, you do need to prep your skin before you apply this foundation, so just be warned. This is going to be great for anybody who has a few dry patches. Just prep those beforehand. Normal skin, oilier skin, sensitive skin, there's really nothing in this formula that you are going to be overly sensitive to unless you're sensitive to something really quite unique, but it's just a great formula. So that's how I would rank every single Estee Lauder foundation. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you've never tried any Estee Lauder foundations before and you want to give them a go, again, go and get a sample. They are really good at giving samples on the Estee Lauder counters before you make your pick, because what is my favorite may not be your favorite. But do let me know how you get on in the comment section. If you've tried any of these foundations out before and you disagree with me or you agree with me, let me know your experiences and share your experiences with the rest of the pack in the comment section. Always eager to hear your thoughts and opinions on things that I've done in videos. So if you have found this video helpful, please show it some love with the like button. I've also put a couple of videos over here that I think you might like as well. So hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.